When it comes to, hey, where do we even start the CMMC compliance journey and our compute environment? For us at Simple Helix, we always start this conversation out, hey, which Microsoft 365 environment you need to be in, because we can go and touch so many of the CMMC controls. There is no silver bullet for the whole thing, but the 365 definitely puts a lot of the controls, within a controllable environment, something that we can control. And so there really is a good conversation that has to happen with the customer about, are we going, well, at the end of the day, in the 365 world, that's going to be either GCC or GCC High. Within the Microsoft ecosystem, there are 5 versions of 365. Very few people understand that there's actually 5 versions of 365. The ones that we're mostly interested in is the commercial environment, which is where most businesses are, and they'll have what they call the business standard, that business premium type license. The next step up is the GCC environment, government cloud community. Then the next step above that is going to be the GCC High. The high in the name stands for FedRAMP High Certified Environment. And then the last one's government. And government is for, the military and, the DoD, government agencies. They all live in government. So we do always have this conversation around, okay, well, we know commercial is not going to be compliant. So we at least got to get you to GCC or GCC High. That turns into a conversation about, well, is your business 90% commercial and 10% government? If it's that way, we're probably going to go GCC because the pricing between commercial and GCC is basically the same. There's little bit differences, but not substantial price differences and matching licenses between the two.
Compared to the value that you get, it's negligible for price difference.
Exactly. If you are a contractor that talking to a federal agency every single day, the majority of the employees are interacting with military .mil addresses every day. It's 90% weighted that way. Well, we can go get you closer to that government environment with GCC High. The other big needle pusher for GCC High is if you get into a contract that has an itar requirement. That itar is the only environment that you can get in that will support the itar truly is that GCC High environment. And the reason that this decision is so important is that when you go GCC High, the pricing for everything basically doubles. And so, we are trying to actively say, hey, we don't want you to have to pay double if you don't need to. But, we absolutely have had customers that, hey, I interact with, this agency every single day. I am butted right up against them. This is what I do. I need to be GCC High because that's how I want my teams to easily chat, my emails easily flow. I need to incur that expense to have that convenience. Or I have to have it for that itar requirement. But outside of that, if we are trying to do the NIST 800-171, if we're trying to do CMMC, kind of the center of the bell curve there is going to be the GCC environment.